Hello traders, hope you're doing well. Welcome to my video on the MACD and CCI EA. This is a free expert advisor that I have programmed for the MT4 trading platform. Please help yourself to a copy using the link in the description below, where you will also find many other free expert advisors that I have programmed, which you can download and use as much as you like without any restrictions. So in this video, I'm just going to run through this particular EA and the various ways in which you can implement it within your trading strategies. Okay, so here you can see the MT4 trading platform. This is a visual backtest that I've run with the EA. Strategy tester window here. We've selected the MACD and CCI EA. As the name suggests, this combines the MACD indicator with the CCI indicator and can be good for spotting pullbacks in trending markets. So for example, we've got resistance up here, support here. If I was trading manually, what I would be looking for is a breakout of this line, then a pullback, arguably a pullback here. Okay, so you have a breakout down here. In fact, I'd be tempted to draw this support level here. You can see this and just get rid of that. See this support, 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 lower highs. Okay, nice wedge formation. You've got a triple top as well. 1, 2, 3. All the signs were there for this bearish momentum. Okay, so we could have traded that breakout or could have waited for another pullback. If you perhaps wanted confirmation, just in case it was a fake out, false breakout, confirmation here, and could have popped in there. In fact, this support level then becomes resistance, but that just goes to show how simple it is to trade really without any fancy indicators, just using your support, resistance, and trend lines. However, if we look at the CCI, what you could do is when the CCI is extremely overbought, so that's anything above this 100 line here, it can suggest the market will turn to the downside, okay, because the market's overbought. Just as when it's down here, the market is oversold below minus 100. So you can look for a buy trade. However, we know that the market's making lower highs, it's going down, so we're only looking for an overbought CCI. Okay. And then that's when the pullback occurs. And when there's a pullback, you can either trade directly on the pullback, or you can wait for a breakout of a recent support level in a downtrend, as you can see there. Okay, so pullback. Here's another pullback here. Okay, and again, if you went in straight on the pullback, it's not the ideal time. Instead, when you see the pullback around here, what you can do is you can mark the support level and then just wait for a breakout, and you hop in on that trend nicely, being careful not to sell too late. You don't want to sell at the bottom. Ample opportunities to get in up around here again. Pullback. Okay, CCI overbought. So what do? We draw our support. Nice M chart formation there. Market's making lower highs. Breakout there. So the way this EA can help you is to give you alerts or actually place trades when there are these pullbacks. Okay. So you can go in the expert properties and you can set CCI to true, choose the CCI period, and then basically when there's an extreme CCI, you will receive an alert, and then you can just look to enter in the direction of the trend. Okay, you can set it to, if you know there's a downtrend, okay, you know there's a downtrend, you can just set it to short only, so it'll just give you the sell alerts, vice versa. If there's an uptrend, you can just set it to long only, so you get the alerts depending on the direction you're looking to trade in. Right, or what we can do is we can add something else to this strategy, which can help identify the trend direction if you don't want to manually look at the charts and eyeball the trend yourself. We can use the MACD. So basically when the MACD is below the red line and or the signal line, which is the 0 line, the middle line, that can suggest the market is in a downtrend. So how you can do that is you can combine the CCI being extreme with the MACD being below the 0 line, for example, as we got here. The CCI was extreme. Okay, the MACD was below the 0 line, so that is our confirmation. and then we could be looking for a sell trade, or could just take a sell trade as is there. Okay, if we move further along, once we had the pullback here again, the MACD was below the zero line, however, showing strong divergence to the upside. Nonetheless, it can be a good trend filter for us to know the market is in an overall downwards direction, and we're going to wait for breakout following on from the pullback. Okay, or you know, you can ignore the CCI completely and just take the MACD trades. For example, you might wait for the price to cross. If we know the market is in a downtrend, we might want the price to cross above and then back below the zero line as it does here, okay, or above and below the signal line and zero line as it does here. So it crosses the signal line whilst being below zero. So that would have been a good entry because that big candle there, that's actually an NFP, non-farms payroll, first Friday of the month candle. We could have used that nice momentum along with this support here to hop in on this downtrend. Again, you've got your wedge formation there, market making lower highs. All the signals are there for a continuation. Okay, just cover the settings of the EA. As I said, they're the indicators, the MACD and the CCI. You can set true or false, so MACD zero line, MACD trend, CCI extreme, true or false, the periods of the CCI, MACD various settings, fast, slow, and SMA. This is the name of the EA. You can change to anything you want, or you can just use the default name. Pop-up alerts. If you set pop-up alerts to true, what will happen is you'll get an alert when there's a signal. So for instance, you could have the EA running on 20 different charts, different trading instruments. You can use the EA for Forex, stocks, cryptos, commodities, any instrument that your broker offers, and any chart time frame. And then you just get an alert, for example, buy signal on the euro dollar 1 hour chart, and you just switch to your chart and have a look. Email and SMS alerts are the same. I'll send you the alert just via email or SMS. This is handy if you're perhaps away from your machine. You know there's a downtrend and you just want to get an alert when there's a pullback or breakout, depending on your strategy, and then you can fire up your charts and act accordingly. Okay, if you don't want to do anything manually, you can just set use trading to true, in which instance the EA will actually place the trade for you. I would still recommend in that instance at least have some of the alerts set to true, just so you can be notified, for example, via email that there's been a sell trade on the euro dollar. Then you can just open the chart, check it, make sure it's a good trade. You might want to amend the stop loss to the recent high for a sell trade, or perhaps a recent low for a buy trade. For instance, stop loss values here. You might just set the initial stop loss at 50, but then open up your chart and see, well, the recent high is only 20 pips away, so I can use a much tighter stop loss in that instance. So you can combine use trading with alerts. Okay, days fill is self-explanatory. It's basically the days of the week that you'd like the EA to send you signals or place trades. Same for the hours. Okay, choose the hours that you want to start and end. For example, you might just want to trade when there's high liquidity, when the London and New York markets are open. If you're trading the euro dollar, the pound dollar. If you want to using a scalping strategy, you might want to trade in the evening. During the Asian session, so you can just adjust that accordingly. When I'm trading higher chart time frames like the 1 hour and the 4 hour, I tend not to worry too much about the trading hours because I'm just gonna trade what the charts are telling me anyway. I look to capture big moves that can go on for days and weeks and months. So I'm not too fussed with that. Because I'd rather, if we can see a setup like this, as we discussed, resistance, support, nice breakout, just zoom out there. I mean, if we can take a trade like this for, over 400, even if we got out here when we seen the market making these higher lows, we may have seen these high lows and we would have been like, okay, we've exhausted the move. Still would have been a trade for like almost 400 pips, one big trade. I'm not sure why we'd want to, enter and just keep re-entering. Just get one good entry either there or there and maximize it. You certainly don't want to sell at the bottom around here, okay? Sell as early as possible, okay? Right, going back to the settings. Magic number, so that's the order ID that's sent with the trade. This can help to differentiate this EA from others if you're running other EAs on your MT4 trading platform. Maximum spread, maximum slippage. Basically, if your broker spread or slippage is greater than these values in pips, there will be no signal or trade. This is to help avoid unfavorable market conditions. Money management. So open orders limit is set to 1 by default. This basically means that EA will allow a maximum of 1 open buy and or 1 open sell trade at any time. This way it prevents there from being multiple similar signals, one after the other. Okay, lots. This is the position size that you're going to place your trades with. Lots is only used if you have user set to false. If you have user set to true, it ignores the lots field and will calculate the lots for you based on the risk percent that you set here in the risk percent field. Okay, so if you have that set to 2% risk, the EA will automatically calculate the lot size, so that's the equivalent of 2% of the account free equity. Stop loss and take profit. Take profit. Coding brain. Take profit. Self-explanatory. Okay. As I said, I don't really like to use rigid levels. I may leave it on 50 if the EA is going to place a trade automatically, depending on the time frame I'm using. Maybe tighter for a lower time frame or wider for a higher time frame. But either way, I'm going to manually use a swing high or swing low for that. Take profit, personally, I leave on 0. Again, I'm not going to want to use a fixed rigid level. If the take profit's set at 100, let's just have a look. We take this trade, 100 pips, happy days. We exit here. We're delighted we've made 100 pips. A month down the line, probably crying because we've left, 300 or whatever on the table. Granted, you can re-enter, but the more you re-enter, the higher the chances are of getting the trade wrong. You could just end up selling at the low, okay, which we don't want to do. But it can be good to have an initial take profit in place that you could always amend later. Okay, close on opposite signal. If there's an opposite signal, like the CCI is extreme in the other direction, or the MACD is trending in the other direction, if that's set to true, then the trade will be closed, and probably another trade will be open. Break even and trailing stop. So this is handy to lock in profits. Don't let winning trades turn into losing ones. Worst thing is seeing like a good trade turn into a bad one. You don't want to do it too early. Again, these levels are quite rigid, but for argument's sake, if you have break even set to true and you set it to 50, once the trade reaches 50 pips in profit, stop loss will be moved to the break even point. Worst case scenario, if price turns around, you're taking out for break even minus broker costs, of course. Trailing stop, if you set that to true, this is how far the stop loss will trail the price, okay, as it moves in your favor. Okay, just show you an example of the break even here. Say we take this trade. What I would do personally is, as price is falling, I'm going to put the stop loss from initially up here, which is only what, 10-15 pips, something like that. Just zoom in a bit. If we take this breakout, stop loss here, okay, 15-20 pips. As price falls down, I'm going to move the stop loss from there, above the high, above the high, above the high. See this drop down here, price drop here, stop loss above the high, 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 until we get taken out, which still would have been a really good trade. 350 odd pips. So that just shows the strength of using a trailing stop. Okay, you don't want it too tight because you might get taken out prematurely, but it can help you capture big moves without having that, that rigid 100 pip take profit. No, take what the market will give you. If the market's going to give you a big move, then let it ride out and take as much as possible from it. Okay, close percent. This is a percentage of the trade to close, if any, when the break even and trailing stop point are reached. So you might want to close, I don't know, 25% of a trade and leave the rest to run, then another 25%, leave the rest to run until the minimum lot to close is reached. So the EA will stop closing part of the position once this value is reached. If you're trading one standard lot and you have a minimum lot closed to 0.5, then when there's only that many lots left in the position, it just won't close anymore and it will let the rest run until your stop loss is hit. Or you can set something higher than your initial lot value, and just the EA won't close any of the position in that instance, but it will still use the trailing stop and break even if you set to true. Okay. Then we've got what we covered, the MACD, the entry criteria, so the MACD and the CCI. Okay, so that's basically the EA settings, how it works, different ways you can use it, semi-automated or fully automated. Just going to quickly run through an optimization now. So optimization is basically using the strategy tester to test various combinations of settings and show you historical results with them. That being said, you just check the checkboxes of the settings that you wish to. Of course, you want use trading set to true for this. We don't need alerts because we're running a back test. So we want to test the stop loss. We want to start at 25. We want to step in 25 increments and stop at 100. So that will test 25, 50, 75, and 100. We're going to test to take profit. We're going to start at 0. We'll go up in the hundreds and we'll stop at 300. Close opposite on signal. We'll test that true or false. Break even, we'll test that true or false. Break even point, we'll start at 25, 25 increments, stop at 100. Trailing stop, true or false. Trailing gap, we'll test 25, 50, 75, 100. Close percent, we'll close 0, 25 up to 75, I think. And the minimum lot to close, we're going to use one standard lot. So minimum lot to close, we'll do 0.25, 0.25 up to, no, we want to go higher. Yeah. The one. Okay, we'll test the MACD 0 line being true or false, the MACD trend being true or false, and the CCI extreme being true or false. I think we'll do the CCI period as well. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. And why not? Let's do the MACD. Let's make things interesting. So let's just test the various combinations on the MACD and us. We're optimizing all those settings. What we do is we go in the testing tabs and we make sure genetic algorithm is checked. Basically, this means the EA, the MT4 strategy tester, will only test the combinations it thinks will produce the best results. If you uncheck that, it will do every possible combination, which, depending on how many settings you've selected and your computer's processing power, could take a long time. And generally, genetic algorithm does a good job of filtering out unnecessary results. Under optimization tab here, you can select if you only want results that meet certain criteria. So if you select maximal drawdown and you change it to, I don't know, 10, a bit ambitious, but you only want results with a maximum drawdown of 10 and 10%, then that's what that will do. Okay, so then we go to, let me go back to, I'd never actually use any of these filters, so that might actually be money. I don't know if that's money true terms or percentage, to be completely honest. But I never use this. I don't want my results filtered because I want to see what different combinations of settings will give, like what works and what doesn't. In saying that, if we go into the optimization results tab, right click, I skip useless results. I'll have this checked just because I don't want to see minus results. Otherwise, I can just end up clogged up with too many different results there. Okay, so now we've got all of that. We click the optimization button. We're doing the last 4 to 5 months and we click start. And now basically the EA will run for every possible combination of settings and give us the results. Okay. You can filter by profit, total trades, profit factor, payoff, and drawdown. Not fantastic, as you can see here. Well, not too bad either. I mean, double click, and what that will do is that will load those settings into the EA, so you can save them if you want to use them at a later date, just by loading here. And then optimization's unchecked. So if we just run those particular settings that we've chosen from the optimization, have a look at the graph, and it's not bad. It's not bad. But what we've done there, and this is very important, is we've over optimized or curve fitted for that particular historical data set, i.e. the last 4 to 5 months. I'm pretty sure if we extended it back, let's go back a year and run them again, the graph's not so good, is it? And that's because we were only optimizing from, I'm going to say around here. Is it around here? Let's have a look. There you go. October, wasn't it? So bang on there. When we start the optimization, things look nice, green and rosy, okay? But before that, not so much. Not terrible, but not great either. And why is that? That's because we just over-optimize for that particular data set. Now, one might argue, well, let's just optimize for more data. Let's go further back. The thing is, you can go back 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Doesn't matter how far you go back, you're still going to run into the same problem of over-optimization. Okay, throwing enough unit at the wall and hoping some of it sticks. So you will probably find good data sets, a good combination of settings for particular historical data. But if you take it back, those same settings are likely not to perform as well, as you can see there. Okay, and that's where our optimization started, around there roughly. Okay, so that's why be careful with over optimization, curve fitting. I use open prices only for rough testing. Keep in mind that you want to switch to every tick when you're trying to fine tune. It does take longer, but it does mean that stop loss, take profit, trailing stop, and things that rely on intrabar prices will be more accurate. In saying that, by design, MT4 is not the most accurate when it comes to back testing unless you're using a third-party software where you can implement real tick-by-tick data. But even then, you can just be really looking at the past. You know, you want to, if you're looking for an EA, you want something that's on verified accounts and has been running for a substantial amount of time. Okay, anyone can throw together an EA. As you can see here, we can just keep optimizing until we get a perfect graph over as many currency pairs and timeframes as we want, package it together and sell it as the, you know, super rocket launcher blaster EA 3000. And at the end of the day, it's just been curve fitted and over optimized for historical data. I'd much prefer logic, as going back to the start of the video, support, resistance, trend lines, pullbacks, breakouts, good money management, good trading discipline. Don't let negative emotions such as fear, anger, and greed get in the way. Trade smart, not hard. Higher chart time frames tend to give clearer signals and mean less time chart watching, as well as this EA can also help you to get signals without needing to stare at your charts all day long. As I said, please help yourself using the link in the description below. Please like and subscribe, as it will really help the channel and will allow me to keep on building more tools for you to check out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.